Your business does not need a more exhausted version of you. It needs a more regulated version of you. Most founders do not burn out because they do not care enough. They burn out because the business is asking them to lead from pressure, urgency, and over-responsibility for too long. You are constantly holding the team, the clients, the decisions, the money, the standards, the vision, and everyone's emotional energy. This video is for you because today I want to talk about regulated leadership, not as a wellness trend, not as something soft or fluffy, but as one of the most important business systems a founder can build. And stick around because by the end of this video, you will know the 5 signs your nervous system is becoming the hidden bottleneck in your business and the 5 shifts that help you lead with more calm, more clarity, and more capacity, which is designed to help you clear the mental noise and come back to your CEO baseline. So let's start here. Scaling a business is not just an operational challenge, it is a nervous system challenge. Because at a certain level, the question is no longer only, can the business grow? The question becomes, can you hold the growth without losing yourself? Can you hold more visibility? Can you hold more money? Can you hold more responsibility? Can you hold more clients? Can you hold more support? Can you hold more spaciousness? Can you hold more ease? Because that is what most people do not talk about. Sometimes we say we want more revenue, more freedom, more clients, more impact, more support, more spaciousness. But when more actually starts arriving, the nervous system can interpret it as pressure. More clients can feel like more people to please. More money can feel like more responsibility to protect. More visibility can feel like more judgment. More team can feel like more people needing direction. More space can feel unfamiliar if used to chaos. And that is where founders start unconsciously recreating pressure, not because you are broken, not because you do not want success, but because pressure feels familiar. Urgency feels familiar. Being needed feels familiar. Holding everything feels familiar. And calm can feel strangely unsafe when your identity has been built around being the only one who keeps everything together. That is why regulated leadership matters. Regulated leadership is the ability to remain clear, grounded, and intentional while the business grows. It does not mean you are calm every second of the day. It does not mean you never feel stressed. It does not mean you never have a wobble. It means pressure is no longer the thing leading the business. You are. And there is a difference. Because when the pressure leads the business, you make decisions from urgency. You over-explain. You over-control. You second-guess. You change direction too quickly. You say yes when you should say no. You discount when you should hold the price. You take on clients who are not aligned because an empty space in the calendar feels unsafe. You keep checking everything because trusting other people feels really vulnerable. And then the business becomes a reflection of your nervous system. Scattered founder, scattered business. Reactive founder, reactive business. Extended team. When you are regulated, the business feels different. You can pause before reacting. You can make decisions from strategy, not survival. You can hold your standards without becoming rigid. You can let people support you without micromanaging. You can feel a slow week without spiraling. You can lead the team without becoming the emotional container for everyone. You can make more money without making it mean you now have to carry more alone. That is the shift. So let me give you the 5 signs that your nervous system may be the hidden bottleneck in your business. Sign number 1. Everything feels urgent. You wake up and your body is already braced. Before you have even opened your laptop, you feel behind. Every message feels like something that needs a response now. Every decision feels heavier than it should. Every small issue feels like it could become a big one. And this is where a lot of founders confuse urgency with importance. Just because something feels urgent in your body does not mean it's strategically urgent in the business. That is a really important distinction. Your nervous system might be ringing the alarm because you are carrying way too many open loops. But that does not mean everything deserves immediate attention or action. A regulated CEO learns to ask, is this urgent? Or is my body activated? Because those are not the same thing. Sign number 2. You keep changing direction way too quickly. This happens all the time with smart founders. You launch something, it does not immediately perform, so you start questioning the whole offer. You post content, does not get the response you hoped for, so you start questioning your positioning. You have one quiet sales week, and suddenly you wonder if the business model is wrong. You have one difficult client conversation, and suddenly you rethink your entire client process. Sometimes the issue is strategic, but sometimes the issue is that your nervous system does not yet feel safe sitting in the discomfort of the gap between planting and receiving, the gap between visibility and conversion, the gap between making a decision and letting the result reveal itself. That is where manifestation and business strategy really meet. Because manifestation is not just about calling something in, it is also about becoming the version of you who can stay steady long enough for the thing to land. If you change the strategy every time your body feels uncertain, the business never gets a chance to compound. So regulated leadership means you can feel discomfort without abandoning the plan too early. Sign number 3, you over-control the things you say you want support with. This one can be uncomfortable to look at. You say you want help. You say you want a team. You say you want someone else to own delivery, operations, marketing, content, client communication, or admin. But when the support arrives, part of you cannot fully let it in. You check everything. You rewrite everything. You ask for updates constantly. You say, it is just easier if I do it. You feel frustrated that people need you, but also unsafe when they do not. And again, this does not mean you are controlling in a bad way. It means your nervous system may still associate control with safety. Maybe you learned that if you did not hold everything, things fell apart. Maybe you learned that being needed kept you valuable. The business in a season where you really did have to be the one who made everything work. That pattern helped you survive. It helped you build. It helped you get here. But it may not be the pattern that lets you grow from here, because support requires trust. And trust requires a nervous system that can tolerate not being the one who touches everything. Sign number 4, your money decisions are emotionally charged. This is such a big one. When the founder is dysregulated, money starts to feel like safety, proof, pressure, and identity all at once. So instead of making clean financial decisions, you make emotional ones. You discount because you feel uncertain. You over-deliver because receiving feels uncomfortable. You say yes to clients who are not aligned because the cash feels reassuring. You avoid looking at numbers because you are scared of what they might say. Or you obsess over the numbers because checking them gives you a temporary sense of control. And this is where I want to be very clear. Money loves clarity. Cash flow loves rhythm. Pricing loves self-trust. Sales loves grounded energy. If your money decisions are constantly being made from fear, the business will feel chaotic even when revenue is coming in. That is why I always say calm is not passive. Calm is operational leverage. Because when your body is not in panic, you can actually see the business clearly. You can see what is working. You can see what needs attention. You can see what is a real problem and what is just a temporary wobble. Sign number 5, you cannot fully switch off. Even when you are not working, part of you is still tracking the business. You are with your child, but your mind is thinking about a client. You are out for a walk, but your body is still holding a decision. You are trying to sleep, but you are mentally reviewing cash flow, content, delivery, team, issues, or what needs to happen next. You are physically away from the business, but energetically still inside it. And this is one of the clearest signs that the business does not yet have enough structure to let your nervous system rest. Because a business with no operating rhythm will keep living inside the founder's body. That is why systems matter. Not because we want to become robotic. The business needs places to hold things so you do not have to hold everything. Your calendar can hold rhythm. Your dashboard can hold the numbers. Your SOPs can hold the process. Your team meetings can hold decisions. Your content plan can hold visibility. Your financial rhythm can hold money clarity. Your CEO day can hold the bigger questions. When the business has structure, your body can start to soften. That is the calm CEO shift. Inner regulation, out of structure. Clear strategy, clean execution. Now let me give you an example. I worked with a founder, let's call her Emma. On paper, Emma's business was doing well. She had clients, she had a small team, she had strong offers. She was visible, she was smart, capable, and deeply, deeply committed. But when we got into the real experience of the business, she was exhausted. Not because she was doing every task. She had support. But emotionally, everything still lived with her. Her team asked for reassurance constantly. Clients escalated to her quickly. She checked the numbers from a place of fear. She changed content direction every time engagement dipped. And she could never really rest because part of her was always waiting for something to need her. So we did not start by adding more tactics. We started by regulating the business. We created a weekly CEO rhythm. We created clearer decision rights. We created a simple KPI scorecard. We clarified which client issues came to her and when they didn't. We created a weekly money review so cash stopped feeling like a surprise. And we made space in the calendar for her to actually think. Within a few weeks, the business did not just operate better. She felt different inside it. She was not bracing all the time. She was not reacting to every small movement. She was not treating every quiet moment as a threat. And because her nervous system had more room, her leadership became cleaner. That is what I want you to understand. Regulated leadership is not just about how you feel. It changes how the business functions. So now let's talk about the 5 shifts that help you become a more regulated CEO. Shift number 1, build capacity before the next level demands it. A lot of founders wait until they are already overwhelmed before they build support. They wait until the calendar is full before they create rhythm. They wait until the team is confused before they define ownership. They wait until cash feels tight before they look at their numbers. They wait until they're exhausted before they change the way they lead. But the calm CEO approach is different. You build capacity. That might look like simplifying your offers, creating a weekly CEO rhythm, building a basic KPI dashboard, defining decision rights, creating clearer client boundaries, protecting white space, looking at cash flow weekly, writing down standards before the team needs them. Capacity is not built by waiting for the pressure to get worse. Capacity is built by creating the container before the next level arrives. Shift number 2, separate emotional signal from strategic signal. This one is powerful. Your emotions are information, but they are not always instruction. Feeling fear does not always mean stop. Feeling discomfort does not always mean the strategy is wrong. Feeling exposed does not always mean you should shrink. Feeling uncertain does not always mean you should change direction. A regulated founder listens to the signal without being ruled by it. So ask, what am I feeling? What is the business actually showing me? Is this data? Is this fear? Is this a pattern? Is this a real issue? Or is this my nervous system reacting to expansion? That question alone can save you from so many reactive decisions. Shift number 3, create decision hygiene. This is where regulated leadership becomes very practical. Do not make every decision in the moment it appears. Not every message needs an instant answer. Not every idea needs immediate action. Not every problem needs to interrupt your day. Create decision rhythms, a weekly CEO review, a weekly money check, a weekly content review, a team meeting, a client delivery review, a place where decisions can be held. This reduces the constant emotional interruption of the business, and it teaches your nervous system, I do not need to carry everything right now. There is a place for this. There is a rhythm for this. There is a container for this. Shift number 4. Let support actually support you. This sounds obvious, but it is often the hardest part. If you hire support but keep all the decision making, you are still carrying the business. If you delegate a task but check every detail, you are still carrying the business. The support will keep returning to you. So ask, what would need to be true for this support to actually feel safe? Do they need clearer standards? Do they need decision rights? Do I need a review rhythm? Do I need to communicate the outcome more clearly? Do I need to let go of being the only person who knows? Support is not just a hire. Support is a structure. Shift number 5. Stop making exhaustion the evidence that you care. This one is deeply personal for many founders. Somewhere along the way, you may have learned that if you're exhausted, you are doing enough. If you are busy, you are valuable. If you are needed, you matter. If you are carrying everything, you are responsible. But your business does not need your depletion. It needs your leadership. It needs your clarity. It needs your discernment. You don't have to prove that you care by abandoning yourself. You don't have to earn your growth through burnout. You do not have to make success feel hard in order for it to be legitimate. And I want you to hear that in your body. You can build something powerful from a calm place. You can be regulated and ambitious. You can be feminine and strategic. You can be spiritual and operationally sharp. You can make money without making pressure your identity. You can lead without holding everything. That is what the Calm CEO is all about. It is not about doing less for the sake of doing less. It is about building a business that can hold more without requiring you to disappear inside it. So, let's bring this together. If your business feels heavy right now, ask yourself, is everything actually urgent, or is my body activated? Am I changing direction because the strategy is wrong or because uncertainty feels unsafe? Am I asking for support while still holding all the control? Am I making money decisions from clarity or fear? Can I rest, or does the business still live inside my nervous system? Those questions will tell you a lot. And then ask, what structure would help my body feel safe here? Sometimes the next level does not require more pressure. It requires more safety. How you create sustainable growth, not by becoming a harder version of yourself, but by becoming a clearer, calmer, more supported version of yourself. So if this is the season you are in right now, I would start with the free 7-day CEO Reset email sequence. It is designed to help you clear the mental noise, come back to your leadership baseline, and begin operating from a calmer, more regulated place. Because sometimes the first step is not another strategy. Sometimes the first step is coming back to your body, coming back to your clarity, coming back to the version of you who does not need to lead from urgency. And if you want more of this kind of calm CEO work, the blend of strategy, nervous system, safety, manifestation, identity, leadership, money, and business systems, sign up for my newsletter. That is where I share deeper reflections and practical shifts for founders who want to scale without losing themselves in the process. I'll leave both links below. I want you to leave with this. You do not need to become more exhausted to be worthy of more. You do not need to become harder to hold more. You do not need to abandon your sensitivity to become a stronger CEO. Your calm is not the thing that slows you down. Your calm may be the very thing that lets you hold the next level. Take a deep breath. You've got this. And as always, have an incredible rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.